Hey, I am back with another video. So this video will be demons attack us through jealousy. Yeah, jealousy, which I'm sure everybody is familiar with at one point in life or another. It's one thing when it's like admiration. It's like, dang, I wish I had that, or I can't wait to have that. But it's another to be jealous and filled with envy and taking it to another level. So we have to be careful with confusing admiration and inspiration with jealousy and envy, because those are two separate things that can easily get confused. I think a good starting point with talking about jealousy is the story of Joseph. So I got my handy dandy Bible app right here, and we're going to start here at Genesis 37, and it reads, "And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah, and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him." So that's the beginning of them being jealous of Joseph, because their father showed favor over him. And obviously Joseph was an honest, stand-up type of person. He was willing to do the right thing, and because of that, his father rewarded him. And think about that. If your father on earth is willing to reward you for doing the right thing and being a stand-up, noble type of person, just imagine what our Father in heaven will do for us. Let's continue though. And we're at Genesis chapter 37, verse 5. And here go Anna. "And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For, behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose, and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves stood round about, and made obeisance to my sheaf. And his brethren said to him, Shalt thou indeed reign over us, or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words." Now, when God put dreams and stuff like that in your mind, I feel like the story of Joseph is like a warning to all of us, because especially as dreamers, and not just with your own siblings, but just with people in general. Because, like, for instance, when I told people I had a dream about Jesus, do you know the amount of people who started getting irritated with me? And was just like, And you could feel like the jealousy, the envy from them, from their reaction, and they did not hide that. Like, the demons in them couldn't stand that I had a relationship with Jesus, like, to the point that I would see him in my dream. And that was an experience just like Joseph, that I had to be mindful of the type of people that I communicate with and tell them my dreams, especially people who wants to see a relationship with God and Jesus as competition. Like, what? So you gotta be mindful of that, because some people want to be like, oh, well, I'm more Christian than you. I'm more closer to Jesus than you. Like, in the moment they see your relationship and know you actually have a relationship with God, you have a relationship with Jesus, they start becoming competitive. And that's weird, because Jesus loves us all. God loves us all. And we all supposed to have our own unique relationship with him. So why are you trying to compete with me for our Father's love when he loves us all? That don't make sense. And that's the demons in them, and Satan take in their mind to be envious, to be jealousy. And that's how demons attack you and the people you know, through jealousy. And you have to be mindful as well, if the shoe is on the other foot and somebody's telling you about their dreams and stuff like that that they had, and it may be biblical, it may be about God, Jesus, or whatever. What are you jealous for? What are you envious for? You have your own unique relationship with God. And you should just be happy that somebody in proximity to you also has one. And here's the confirmation that they have a relationship with God. You should be praising God for them. You should be praying over them, that God continue to protect them and show them the way. What are you jealous for? Joseph continues to have dreams, and his brothers continue to be jealous and get more and more jealous, to the point they want to literally hurt the boy. Like, they come up with a scheme and a plot to set him up So just be mindful of people. When you can start feeling that energy of jealousy off of other people, the amount of communication and vulnerability you have with them, with the promises God put in your heart and the visions that He show you, because they not gonna be happy for you. And the more you tell them everything that God is showing you and telling you, the more they're going to hate you. The more they're going to try to plot and scheme against you. And they're going to try to sabotage your life in one way or another, just like Joseph's brothers try to sabotage his life in one way or another, because everybody will not be happy for you. Some people just simply won't be. No matter how close or far away the relationship you have with them, some people will never be happy for you. The moment they see you having something good going on in your life, the minute they start hating. But let's say your life, you down in the dumps, you depressed, and your relationship with God is raggedy, that's when they happy. That's when they at their happiest for you, because you broke down and raggedy. But the moment you start growing up and getting closer to God and your life start changing for the better, all of a sudden they distant. All of a sudden they feel some type of way. Just be mindful of that. But yeah, so pretty much his brothers, they get tired of him having these dreams, and they don't like the idea of his dreams showing them kind of having, to their perspective, dominion and power over them. And they kind of like, who you think you is? Pretty much. They threw him in a pit. They took his clothes, altered the evidence, so they messed up his clothes and made it look like he got attacked or whatever. Meanwhile, they threw him in a pit. Some of the brothers actually wanted to kill him, but one of his brothers was like, nah, let's not do that. Let's just make it look like he got killed. Which is crazy. Long story short, so they left him in a pit, and eventually Joseph was found, right? By a Midianite, hopefully I'm saying that right, a merchant. And they got him out of the pit, and they sold him for 20 pieces of silver. Girl. They sold him for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought him to Egypt, right? And so when one of the brothers, the brother who did not want him to be killed, came back to check on him in the pit, and he realized he was gone, he went back and told his brothers that Joseph ain't there no more. When Reuben went back and told his brothers that Joseph wasn't in the pit, they just assumed that he got devoured by a beast and that he was dead. And that's how God works. He'll make things appear a certain way to your enemies to protect you. So they be thinking, okay, he's dead, he's gone, he's out of the picture, or she's dead, she's gone, she's out of the picture, or whatever it may be in your life, like, oh, she lost the job, she don't work here no more. Yeah, thank God she ain't here. Some people will celebrate you losing your job. Some people will celebrate that your relationship is ended. Some people will celebrate that you lost your house. Some people will celebrate that you lost your car and think that it's all over for you. And think that's and think that it's the end of your story. And that's it. What they wanted for you, whatever bad they wish upon you, they thought it happened. They thought they won. They're like, oh, yes. Yes. She lost everything. He lost everything. Just the jealousy spirit just written all over them, because they can't be happy for you. And that's sad that people are only happy for you when you have nothing, or when you're broken. That's when they are at the happiest for you. That's when they always want to talk to you. But the moment you start coming up in life, all of a sudden, they not that happy for you no more. All of a sudden, they side-eyeing you when you have good news, or not even reacting to your good news at all. Some people won't even be happy that you're sober. Some people prefer the drunken version of you. Some people would prefer the version of you that's on pills. Some people will prefer the version of you when you was on coke and any other thing that's out there. Some people will prefer that because they have something negative to say about you. But when they no longer have nothing bad to say about you and your life is doing well, and from their point of view, obviously better than theirs. That girl was getting distracted, y'all. She was getting distracted. But anyway, some people will never be happy for you. No matter what you got going on in life, no matter how much of a good person you are to everyone, including them, some people will never be happy for you. So the story of Joseph shows that even though he was sold into slavery in Egypt, he worked his way up to the ranks, that he was trusted pretty much. He was the right-hand man of Pharaoh. And it was like he was, how it's like the president, then the vice president. That was pretty much him. He worked his way up from a slave all the way up to practically the right-hand man of Pharaoh at the time. And people had to come to him for things. They had to ask him for permission to do stuff like that. He got to approve things. So it got to a point where there's a famine going on where his brothers was at and his father. And the whole time, the daddy, mind you, the daddy think he's dead. The dad thinks he's dead all this time that he's sold into Egypt all these years. And it got to a point there, it's a famine, and they went into Egypt to try to get something to eat. And guess who they had to come up to? Joseph. And they didn't know it was him at first, but he knew it was them. You got to recognize who your enemies are. Even at the high point of their life and the low point of your life, people who did you wrong and who casted stones against you and want to see you down and out, you're going to always have to be able to recognize them no matter what season that they are within their lives. So he already knew it was his brothers. And he forgave them. That's the thing. He forgave them. He fed them. And on top of that, now the daddy know that he alive. Long story short. So sometimes things will look a certain way. And you will think that God allowed you to be delivered to your enemies and let them win over your life and be the downfall of your life. But that's not the case. There's always going to be a plot twist. When evil comes, God is going to have a plot twist over your life that is going to amaze them and everybody else who thought that you was at the bottom, who thought you fell off, who thought you was done. There's going to be a plot twist over your life, and it's going to amaze everybody to see your come up. It's going to amaze everybody to see your come up story. It's going to amaze them. Not everybody's going to be happy, but at some point, some people will have no choice but to respect the position that you are in within your life. Some people will have no choice but to respect your authority and how God rightfully gave you that. It wasn't just handed to you. You worked your way up to it. And people will have no choice but to put some respect on your name. Some people have no choice but to put some respect on your job, the life you live, how you cleaned up yourself. You're no longer on drugs. You're no longer drinking. Some people will have no choice but to respect that. Point blank period. God will humble people to respect you. So that's why you have to be mindful and trust God. Even when you're surrounded by people who jealous of you, just trust that God got you. Because you're going to have a comeback story. You're going to have a come up story. You're going to have a glow up story. And you got to trust that you doing the right thing in the eyes of God already. Regardless of what's going on around you, keep doing the right thing. Keep trusting God. Keep having the faith. And regardless of what people try to do against you, say about you, God is going to humble them in one way or another. And they're going to have no choice but to respect you and respect the favor that God has over your life. If they didn't the first time, they will the last time. All right, y'all. So that is how demons attack us, through jealousy. And if you know you are somebody who struggle with the jealousy spirit, please work on that. Because we can see through the story of Joseph and his brothers how God can and will humble you. How he can break you all the way down. He can break any of us all the way down if we're not humble enough. If we're not respectful of each other enough. Supportive, loving, caring. You have to love your brothers and sisters here on earth and through your bloodline. There's nothing to be jealous about. Your friends, people you don't know, what are you hating for? That's weird. And that is a demon attack. That's a demonic attack over your mind. Because whatever they have, who knows what God has in store for you that could be even better than what they have. We all have our own unique relationship with God. And that's something you need to trust in versus trying to look at other people's relationship with God and compare and contrast. And then next thing you know, you're trying to set them up. That's a demon working through you. The spirit of jealousy is nothing but a demon. It's very demonic. And same with not only your relationship with God, but just relationships in general. You shouldn't be jealous of your friend having a good friendship with somebody else. You shouldn't be jealous of anybody that you know who's in a healthy relationship and their relationship is thriving. And it's just like, why are you jealous of people's relationships? Because jealousy definitely stems in relationships. Within the relationship and outside of the relationship, people can be jealous of your relationship. People can be jealous of the biggest and smallest things that you got going on in your life. And you can easily yourself get tapped into the spirit of jealousy of what other people got going on in their life. And what God has for you, he has for you. What God has for them, he has for them. And who knows when your time will come for God to bless you with certain things. God will bless you with healthy relationships, whether it's friendships, an actual romantic partner, a business partner, etc. You know? People who you go to church with, you know, your church community, who knows when God will bless you with those things. And he probably already trying to, but you too busy over here watching other people, especially people be jealous of people with money, a job opportunity. Some people get the job of their dreams and somebody in the corner mad. Why? Y'all not even interested in the same thing. Like, y'all are playing in two different playing fields. So why would you be jealous of somebody getting their dream job when you're not even interested in that type of work to begin with? And even if you are, so what? It's their life. Get your own. Get your own relationship with God. Get your own relationship in general. Get your own friendship. Develop those things. Develop your characters. Be a good friend. Be a good spouse, a partner. Be a good employee. And God will eventually bless you. But walking around jealous of other people ain't it. That ain't the move. Because that's just going to have you under demonic attack, I'm trying to tell you. And then next thing you know, you're going to be attacking other people. And probably eventually hurt somebody. So, yeah. Be mindful of that. And be mindful of jealous people in your life. But also, trust in God that regardless of what's going on around you, that God got you. So, yeah. Remember that. God got you. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.